Hello and welcome to Coffee Talk with Shaun and John. John here. We don't have Shaun yet. He's actually on the phone right now, qualifying a candidate. But Thanksgiving week. Actually, just had Thanksgiving with my family this weekend on Sunday. I smoked a turkey. It was awesome, dude, and we had all the kids over and the grandkids and everything else, and the good news is nobody got sick and everybody had a good time. It wound up going until about, I suppose it was about 9:30, 10 o'clock last night. We started at noon and kept on going and napping and watching football and doing all the fun stuff that you do on Thanksgiving. But anyway, I hope your weekend was awesome. Was great. It was a great time to reconnect. I know Thanksgiving is coming up. Now, this is a really, really busy week. There on the candidate side, this is true. Right now is one of the weeks that, we're coming to the end of the year. People are getting reviews. People have met certain goals that they expect, compensation for, et cetera. And there are some people at companies that, some project managers, estimators, even some superintendents that are expecting a pretty good bonus. Even some operation managers in the drywall industry and the paint industry and everything else, they're expecting a pretty good bonus. And they wind up getting the Jelly of the Month Club. Now, you all know what that reference is. You get the Jelly of the Month Club. That comes from Christmas Vacation. If you haven't watched that movie, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun around this time. But long story short, you're expecting a large cash bonus and you don't get the bonus that you're expecting, that you were promised. This is one of the major things in culture that we talk about, that we must talk about when it comes to the way that the Wolf Pack does it, the way that we recommend when it comes to culture is if you make promises that you deliver on those promises. So as a company, one of the big things, the reason that people leave companies, one of the big reasons that people leave companies, and especially at this time of year, when it's coming to the end of the year, and if you have annual bonuses versus monthly bonuses versus quarterly bonuses, if you have annual bonuses, it's especially true at this time of the year where the bonuses are being figured up and the jobs are all being calculated and the profits are all being calculated and everything else. And the boss has what's called a discretionary bonus. The world's worst thing in the eyes of culture, in the eyes of keeping a high performing project manager, estimator, or business developer is the one carrot, the one thing that keeps them on the hook, that keeps them motivated, is the ability to work to make a targeted amount of money every single year. That's how I operate. I'm an entrepreneur. I even though our system is such here at GPAC where we get paid we get paid on a base, we get paid a W-2. It's really what it is a draw against commission. That's just the reality of it. And if I was working for the amount for the draw and the number of hours that I put in, the number of phone calls that I make, the number of emails that I write, and the number of marketing things that I do day in, day out, and I was getting paid what we get paid on a base, I would have been gone a long time ago. I don't come here to work for the base salary. I come here to work for the bonus. And I believe this is exactly the kind of person that you want in your business. Yes, there's people that should get paid hourly, hour by hour, 40 hours a week. They should get paid hourly to do 40 hours worth of work, whether it be administrative work or whatever. But when you have a high performing project manager, what do you want your project manager to do? Well, you want your project manager to manage the project in such a way that it is done efficiently, that it gets done on time and on budget. And even, if possible, being able to find some things in there to make it more lean, to make it run more lean, still get the job done on a quality basis, but actually save money on the project. And if you have a person that saves you money on a project, you want to make sure you bonus them. So discretionary bonuses are, whenever I hear discretionary bonus, I hate hearing that word. Now, don't even count that. Don't even rely on that, because the discretionary bonus comes at that end of the year, and it should not be left up to any kind of discretion. It should be put down in writing, whatever it is. Now, listen, business owners, you can have whatever culture you want at your business. If you want a discretionary bonus, then I will tell you that whenever you use that terminology, it sets off red flags in the eyes of most people. When we talk about culture, when we talk about a sticky culture where you want your people to stay and you want your people to produce, put out in front of them a bonus structure that makes sense, that's attainable, that has certain metrics that you have in that bonus system that allows you to let them know what it is that they're going to be able to make when they hit those metrics. So we started out the conversation today saying to candidates, right now is the time where a lot of candidates are thinking about leaving their companies because they have a bonus system that doesn't make sense, or they made what they thought was a bonus. I actually talked to somebody the other day who said, you know what, according to the metrics that was laid out by the company, I am supposed to be waiting on a $25,000 bonus is what I should have made this year. He had a good year, $25,000 bonus. But he got a check with a good review, by the way, but the company says we just couldn't afford to do bonuses this year. He got a check for $5,000. And so he called me up and said, listen, I gotta find a company that's going to pay me according to what, I did my job, but I didn't get paid. I did my job, but I didn't get paid my bonus. I did my job, but I didn't get paid what was promised to me. So this is what motivates people to leave their companies. Well, whatever it is, guys, listen, I'm talking right now to professional project managers, superintendents, estimators, CEOs, CFOs, anybody in the commercial paint, industrial coatings, commercial roofing, commercial HVAC, civil, heavy civil, waterproofing. I'm talking to all y'all who are in this industry. Don't spend your Thanksgiving week on the job boards. Don't spend your Thanksgiving weekend looking for a new job, because let me tell you something, 85% of the jobs that are out there right now are not published online. And even if they are, everyone that's published online is getting 10,000 resumes. Why would you waste your time searching? The resource that you want to call if you're a candidate, you've got on-screen takeoff and quick bid, you're doing projects over $1 million. I'm talking in the commercial drywall industry, the commercial paint industry. You're in that industry. You're in a specific specialty subcontracting industry, whether it be HVAC, roofing, drywall, painting, industrial coatings, waterproofing, concrete restoration, any specialty subcontracting industry. If you're in that industry and you've been in it, you've got a proven track record, and you're frustrated. You're frustrated enough that you want to go looking for another job. Doesn't matter if it's that compensation piece where you're not getting the bonus that you deserve, if you're not getting paid what you deserve, if the culture's not right, if you don't have good work-life balance because you're driving 3 hours every day to work, back and forth to work, you're sitting in a car for 3-4 hours a day. It doesn't make any sense. If your boss just simply isn't keeping their promises, if there's no trajectory that you can move up in your career. I'm working with somebody in the Southeast right now who has been with the company for 6 years and has performed very, very admirably, and has saved the company money and has actually made the company money on the top line. And they keep on promising this person not only an increase in salary, but also an increase in responsibility and position. That's all this person wants. And they've been promising that position for years and they've never given it. And so that person is frustrated. They're looking to go to a different company that's going to respect and honor them in terms of their professional life. They're professional. They want to move up. They want to have a trajectory that makes sense to them. So as we're working with these, we work with candidates day in and day out. And what my message to you is, don't apply online. Your resume is going to get lost. And don't apply using Indeed, ZipRecruiter, or any of these other places that you see on these football games during the weekends. Indeed, ZipRecruiter, Monster, Career Builder, all these things, all these different services. Your resume gets lost. And one thing that everybody wants in this industry, and especially subcontracting industry, because we all do work with the same vendors all the time, is one thing we don't want is we don't want to have our name out there, even on LinkedIn, open to work. Don't do that. Worst thing you can do. You're going to get a bunch of phone calls from unqualified recruiters, and additionally, your boss, his buddy down the street that works in the same industry or he's a drywall subcontractor and he works with a GC, and that GC sees your name out there. They're going to know that you're looking for work, and you don't want that to happen because you don't want to leave until you found a different job. What you want to do is you want to call me, John Chisholm, 605-277-3729. Just look right here on my LinkedIn profile. Look on my Facebook profile. They've all got my phone number on there. They've all got my email address on there, john.chisholm@gogpack.com. You want to call me right now, because the reality is that there is no better time. There is no better time than November and December. There's no better time to look and to locate a new job. There's no better time. You have the best leverage you can possibly have right now. There's no better leverage than what you can have right now, today, this week. And plus, if I'm doing the job for you, you're not wasting your time on the weekend when you're supposed to be spending time with your family. Looking for a new job? No. Give me the information. Let me market your background. Let me talk to the people that are hiring. Let me talk to the people that are actually making the decision, and I will help you find a new job. And so let me turn it around here, because I work with both sides. Here's the thing. I'm just like that realtor that sells the house, that lists the house and then brings in the buyers to sell the house. Except that I'm not gonna screw either side. I work for both sides. I work for some of the best contractors in the country, bar none. Let me tell you, from the West Coast to the East Coast, from the border of Canada all the way down to the tip of Florida. I work with the best specialty subcontractors in the industry, and we've even crossed the border into Canada every once in a while. So. We work with the best specialty subcontractors in the industry in the United States of America, in North America, and sometimes in Canada. We work with the best. These guys, these companies that I work with, for the most part, they have the best culture, best compensation package. They've got great locations. They've got great career trajectories. Let me tell you something. I work with a few of the largest commercial drywall companies in the country. Some of them are in the ENR top 50. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I work with some of the top commercial painting companies in the country. As far as production wise, as far as size wise. But honestly, the most companies I work with are small to mid-sized companies. They're doing $10 million, $20 million, $30 million. They're these mid-sized companies, and these are the best companies to work with. These companies that are doing anywhere from $2.5 million, $5 million, $10 million, $20 million, $30 million in business. These are awesome companies to go to work for. Why? Because when you are let's say you're a project manager or a PM estimator hybrid at one of these kind of companies, these companies do not goof around when it comes to promoting the good talent. They don't have these layers of rules and things like that. I've seen companies out there that have 4 or 5 different levels of project managers. You know, project manager 1, project manager 2, project manager 3, project manager 4, or estimator 1, estimator 2, estimator 3. And the requirements within those companies, it takes 18 months at a minimum to progress from estimator 1 up to estimator 2. And there's no guarantee that you're going to progress, but the progression is set at a minimum right here. So they don't hire anybody as an estimator 2 or as an estimator 3. They bring everybody in down at the bottom, and you have that career projection. Okay. And that's how you're going to go. But I work with a lot more companies, a lot of really fantastic companies, and there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. If that's what you want, if that's how you develop your talent, that's great. That's fine. You do. That's fine. But the preference for me is that if you see somebody that is a phenomenal game-changing project manager, a game-changing estimator, a game-changing operations officer, a game-changing person, business development, that's going to bring your company up to that next level, I think it's better to have that flexibility to be able to build a package around that person that's going to do a great job for you. So as far as that goes, as far as career progression goes, that's something that I really love about small to mid-sized companies, that the career progression is there. Now, the candidate has to work for it. The candidate has to earn it. The candidate can't just come in and be a chief estimator. That's not possible. It's not even good for the culture of your company. When you bring somebody in, you can't put somebody in charge of a group of people that have been there for 10 years. It doesn't work that way. They have to work their way in. They have to earn their way in. They have to gain that leadership. It sets them up to fail, in my opinion. And I think I've seen enough of it out there that has happened. It's hard to bring somebody into a leadership capacity without gaining that ground, gaining that trust of the people that they're going to lead. So that's another podcast, by the way. So, but I'm talking to you folks right now that are out there that are desperately looking for good talent, or you're experiencing a huge amount of turnover in your business. Every time you bring somebody in, that person goes out the door within 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. And you can't put your finger on it. You can't put your thumb on it as to why that is happening. Well, I have to tell you that it all comes down to culture. It all comes down to culture. Everything comes down to culture. Everything that I'm studying right now, that I've studied over the years, everything that I hear from candidates as to why they stay where they're staying. And I ask them that question. I ask them, well, what would cause you to make a change? Well, they a lot of times they respond, because I'm talking to people. I'm not talking to people that have open to work on their LinkedIn. Sometimes I am, but for the most part, I'm targeting people with a great background to see what would cause them to make a change. And when they say, I'm staying here, there's nothing that can cause me to make a change, they list those things out as to why. I've got great work-life balance here. I've got a hybrid work situation where I work from home 2 to 3 days a week. You know what? If my kid is having a basketball game, I don't call the boss and tell him that I'm going to my kid's basketball game. My job is done, and I'm going to the basketball game. So they have that great compensation. I made $150,000 in bonuses last year in addition to my $200,000 salary. They're not going in. These guys are not going anywhere. These candidates are not going anywhere. They're sticky. Why are they sticky? The culture is great. Everything about the culture is great. The compensation is great. Their career trajectory is great. This is what I'm hearing from candidates that are not going to leave. Why are they going to leave? The opposite reason. They're going to leave because they're not being compensated appropriately according to the market. They're not getting their promised bonuses. But most of all, that's money. Most of all, and believe it or not, I talk to candidates that don't have health insurance. That's crazy in this day and age. No health insurance, no 401k. That's crazy in this day and age. But also, when I talk to candidates, the main thing that they say, it has to do with culture, work-life balance, work hard, play hard. That The management style of my boss. He or she is a micromanager. They hired me to do a job, but they're standing over my shoulder all the time. But 9 times out of 10, when I hear somebody, it has to do with culture. And so if you want to attract high-performing project managers, high-performing superintendents, high-performing estimators, high-performing operations officers, high-performing people in your industry, in whatever it is, whatever the specialty subcontracting industry is, you have to build the culture. And I want to tell you something here. I'll give you a clue. This is the number one thing that most owners don't get. You can't declare culture. You can't say, this is what the culture is going to be and set it in stone. I will point right at you. I'm pointing right at me. Well, I'm pointing right at you. Is culture starts within. Culture starts within the owner. Culture starts from the top down. The owner, the VPs, the right-hand man, the left-hand man, the right-hand woman, the left-hand woman, whatever it is, whatever the management group looks like. But the primary number one person that the culture is built around is the owner. And as long as the owner is focused only on numbers, PDIs, performance, and I'm not saying that that's not important, but as long as you're focused on PDIs and performance, as long as you are focused on the business and not the owner, you developing you yourself, you're screwed. Let me put it to you like this. I'm speaking to my drywall and framing people here. I'm speaking to even my painting people here. I'm speaking to my electricians, my HVAC, my roofing people. The roof, let me tell you something. Let's break it down. I am not in construction. I'm a recruiter. I'm a headhunter. I'm a coach. I'm an influencer. I'm a mindset mechanic. That's what I am. I don't know anything about building, but I do know this one thing about building. If the foundation is not solid, if the base of the building is not solid, the foundation is cracked. The foundation is on sand. Great wise man once said that. Don't build your house upon the sand. Don't build your commercial structure upon the sand. The foundation is all important. I don't care about the framing. If the foundation is bad, the framing is going to suck. The drywall can be finished perfectly. The framing can be done perfectly. The paint can be applied. The taping, the mudding, the paint can be applied. All the guts, all the electrical and HVAC, everything can be applied perfectly. But if the foundation is cracked, if the foundation is broken, if the foundation is not solid, that building will fall down. That building will come down. I don't care how good the framing, I don't care. I know that for a fact. I don't care how good the roof is. I don't care how waterproof the roof is. I don't care how sealed the building is. It doesn't matter if the foundation is bad, if it's been put in a bad location. If the foundation is bad, the building is not going to stand. And that's why they spend so much time on the foundation, because everything rocks off the foundation. And let me tell you something, business owners. Let me tell you something, CEOs, VPs, presidents, owners, entrepreneurs, everything. If the foundation of your business is bad, and that is you, I don't care how many plans you have. I don't care how many books you read. I don't care how many conferences you go to about sales. I don't care about any of that stuff. It doesn't matter anything, because most of the stuff that you learn at those conferences anyway, most of the stuff that you read in books anyway, most of the stuff you listen to on your podcast anyway, it doesn't stick. It doesn't stick. What the reality is, folks, is that you need to build the foundation of you before you can institute culture, before you can institute values. If values coming from a bad foundation are going to be bad values, they're not going to do any good for you. Establishing a culture, building a culture just by saying, hey man, we're going to have an open workspace concept. We're going to have an open door policy. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Blah, 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 blah. If it doesn't come from a heart that's been changed, or a mind that's been a mind that has gained awareness, if it doesn't have that piece to it, that foundation is going to crack. It might stand for a while. It might do well for a while. And how many implementations have you put in there? How many times have you been excited after going to a conference, after being with a group of people that all had the same type of businesses? How many times have you come back with this new book or this new program that you thought was going to just blow up and do awesome? And maybe it did for a little while, but then it just went by the wayside. And with each new generation of person coming in and each new generation, it just didn't work. How frustrated right now? How frustrated? What is your bleeding neck that you can't seem to keep good talent? Look in the mirror. It's probably because of you. Is your bleeding neck that you can't attract any new talent? Well, look in the mirror. It's probably because of you in some small part. But there's hope. Here's the thing. This is not self-aggrandizing or anything like that, but I'm putting together a program right now, even as we speak, that takes all the things that I've learned as a business owner, that I've learned as a recruiter, that I've learned as an entrepreneur, that I've learned over the years, is taking all these things that I've researched over the years in terms of talent, in terms of why people stay and why people go. I'm putting it all together into a program. Now, the program is great. That's the framing. But the foundation, listen, the foundation is in the owner. The foundation has to start with the owner. And that's the number one thing that we need to learn. That's the number one ticket, the number one thing that we need to have before we can do anything else. This is the whole pre-construction. This is the whole build, predetermining exactly what you have to do to make a build successful. In order to make the build successful, the building of your business, the building of a high performance culture, it has to start with the owner. It has to start with the owner. And what does that mean? It's not a book, it's not a program, it's coaching. Now, coaching is not directional. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But what I will promise you is that you know exactly what to do, but you're in the middle of your business every day. You're looking at those numbers. You're looking at the KPIs. You're listening to the problems from your general contractors that are calling you up and saying, "Hey, this guy didn't show up today," or "Hey, we've got a problem with this," or "We've got a problem with that," or "The schedule changed," or whatever, or "We have an objection to that change order," or that that RFI didn't come back. Your people are not communicating with me. You have all these things that are going on in your business every single day. You've got billing, you've got hiring, you've got everything that's going on in your business every single day. I am not trying to add one more thing, but I am trying to help you become more aware, and because you know how to build your business. You know what made you start the business. You know what drives you to be the best that you can be every single day. You know that. You know it within yourself. You just can't find it right now. And that's what I do. I help you find it. I help you find it. And when we find it, we make a plan for your business, not for my business, not for somebody else's business down the road. So what works for them is not going to work for you. We find a plan for your business. And we take that plan and we implement it together. We take that plan and we implement it together. You're the one doing the work. You're the one implementing at your job. But I'm standing beside you with a level of accountability and insight and reminding and helping you see, so that you can build your business to the best business it can ever be. Best business that it can ever be. And the benefit to you at the end of the day is this: better retention of your current employees, better attraction of new talented people, new talented people. And at the end of the day, the bottom line is this: it's going to save your company money and it's going to make your company money at the end of the day. So it's coming. I'm going to be announcing it soon. The last thing I want to say before we leave, if you're a candidate right now looking for something new, drywall, commercial painting, industrial coatings, commercial waterproofing, commercial concrete restoration, commercial HVAC, commercial electrical, commercial roofing. And at the end of the day, last but not least, civil. I want you to call me. I don't want you to waste your time applying online. I don't want you to waste your time putting your resume up online. I don't want you to waste your time searching all over LinkedIn. Don't do it, man. Spend time with your family. Call me first. I'm here Monday. I'm here Tuesday. I'm here Wednesday. Shoot, you can even call me on Thursday. We've already had our Thanksgiving, so you can call me on Thursday if you want to. But spend time with your family and let me do the job searching for you. You have a great day. This is John Chisholm, 605-277-3729. John.Chisholm at gogpack.com. Hopefully we'll be talking to you again tomorrow.